To my container right here, I am going to add my pork chops. Look how pretty and meaty this pork chop looks. To all of my pork chops, I am going to add me some water because guess what? We're going to clean up our pork chops. Make sure it's clean. To that, we're going to add my distilled white vinegar. You want to make sure you use that to clean it up, making sure that slime and all that gunk is washed off of it. And just give it that nice mix and clean it all up. We're going to pour that off and we're going to take them one by one and we're going to clean them off with just some water. All right, just want to do it like this and just place them into your bowl one by one. Now, if your pork chops isn't looking clean and nice like this, you're doing something wrong. So now we are going to prepare them for the next process. So we want at least 4 inside of our tray. So what I'm doing here is I'm pat drying them, making sure all that excess water is being dried from the pork chops. All right, make sure you follow all of these steps. And we're going to fix them nice and neat inside of our bowl. You want that niceness and all of that seasoning to go in. I'm going in with my season first. I'm going to add some generously amount of my adobo season. You don't want to add too much, okay? Going in with my garlic powder. And as I mentioned earlier, you want to go in with a generously amount. Paprika powdered seasoning, all-purpose seasoning, black pepper, and some sazon. Give it that nice flavor. And we're going to pat it into our pork chop. Okay? So up next, we're going to flip it on the opposite side. So each side get the same amount of seasoning. And I love it just like this. And we're going to massage that niceness inside our pork chops. Wow, the smell of this is everything, guys. And we're just seasoning the second batch, okay? Do it just like this, and I promise you, you won't go wrong. And here goes the final result. Take a look at all of these niceness inside my bowl. Tell me if this isn't seasoned well to perfection. To my Ziploc bag, I am going to add all of my pork chop so it can be marinated. You want to leave it so it could sweat for roughly like 4 to 5 hours or depending on how long you're going to prepare it. I am going to leave it for 24 hours so I could eat it the next day. All right, so you want to squeeze the bag, make sure all that air comes out so it could sweat. And we are back from our 24-hour mark. Look at my pork chops, all sweating, smelling oh so good, flavorful. I can tell this is gonna hit. Now we're just gonna add it to my container, put it to the side, and we're gonna get all of our ingredients that we're going to use to get it together. So to my pot, we're going to add us some pure vegetable oil. You can use whatever oil you want. I'm just using this one, okay? Now we're going to leave our oil so it could get heated for a minute or two on medium heat. These are all my seasoning that I'm going to use to make it happen in my kitchen. Also, we have some all-purpose flour back here, and I cannot emphasize on how my pork chop is signaling that smell to my nose. You need to give it a try because I'm telling you, this is a bomb recipe that you need to try out. Look how it's still sweating, guys. Just look at all that juice. To my Ziploc bag, I'm going to add my all-purpose flour. And we're going to go back the old-fashioned way. Use that Ziploc bag. I'm telling you, you're not going to regret it, okay? And I'm going to just add my seasoning to my flour. All those seasoning that I mentioned before. Garlic powder, adobo, paprika, black pepper, all-purpose, sazon, all of that. And we're going to close this up. And we are going to give it that shake, 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 making sure everything is well combined. We're going to just test it with some of our flour and look, our oil is hot. You know, back in the days, this is how we used to do it. Check on it like that to make sure your oil is heated. Now we're going to add our pork chop like 2 to 3 in our Ziploc bag. We want to make sure it is well coated. We're not going to jumble it up. No, we're going to add them a few at a time, okay? So we add 2 to the bag, close that up, and we're going to shake, 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 shake. Now we're going to shake it off, the excess flour, and add it to our heated oil. And we're not going to jumble up the pot. We want to give it space so it can be fried properly. And look at that. Crispy, crunchy, and delicious. I went in. So now we're going to flip it over on the opposite side, and each side was roughly frying for 3 to 4 minutes. And look at that. It doesn't take long because these pork chops are thin, so it doesn't need a lot of time to be fried. And we are all done. And make sure you plate your plate with some paper towel so that excess oil can be drained off. That is a key point right there. Drain off that excess oil, all right? Because remember, it's fried food. So please, guys, follow these steps and you won't go wrong. Now, if your pork chops isn't looking like this, you're in big trouble. And I don't want any. Follow those steps, all right? Now, we're just going to continue these exact same step from before so we could complete this batch, all right? Again, do not overcrowd your flour when shaking it up or your pot when frying. Give them space so they can be fried properly, okay? And you want to make sure you add enough oil so they can be covered, okay? Alrighty, look at this. Talk to me nice. And there it is, my homemade fried pork chops in my kitchen, full of flavor and also delicious. You need to give it a try in your kitchen. Follow these detailed steps and I can assure you, you won't go wrong. Fried pork chops to perfection. My neighbor came knocking on my door. I'm like, yes, I am making some homemade pork chops. And also, guys, if you're new here, please do not forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel for more cooking content or more videos of your choice. You could comment below and tell me what video you would like to see. We're having our homemade fried pork chops with some homemade fried potatoes. You can have this pork chop recipe with whatever of your choice. Here is some melted cheese onto my homemade fried potatoes. It is so good. Give it a try. Alrighty, if you're new here, do not forget to subscribe, hit that like button, turn that post notification button on so you don't miss out any video that I post. Thank you so much and see you guys soon. Bye for now.